What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to do a quick unboxing and testing of this internal filter pump. I got this pump because of this Venturi hose right here that would let you kind of draw in air and create bubbles within the tank. I want to use this to create micro bubbles when I'm doing maintenance on the tank, to get all of the grime out of the Red Sea Reefer 350 and into the sump socks. Let me get at it right now. Let's see what's inside. Came in smaller than expected, but I got it because it's 8 watts and just specifically for that Venturi tube to draw in air so I could create bubbles within the tank. I'll show you how I created bubbles in the past with the wave makers, but here's what's inside the box. The adapters for the outtake and tubing. The unit itself, it's pretty small and compact. There's sponge filters inside, and you can expand it to 2, so it should be 2 like so. This is the whole unit. Just looks like one of those pumps that you get to transfer water, but it's kind of smaller and more compact. And I wanted to use this area and kind of stuff it with floss, so when I'm scraping all of the algae and stirring up everything in the tank, this pump would be going off, and I'll have filter floss in here, and as it's sucking in water, all of the detritus and gunk would get stuck in the unit itself. So I have everything apart. This is the pump itself, and the adapters you have all different sorts of adapters here. This adapter right here, I guess you can attach to a hose or anything like that, so you can pump water to your filtration. But what I'm looking for is this piece right here with the hole right here to draw in air so we can create micro bubbles. Now here's the tube. It's gonna connect to here, and what it's doing is the pump's gonna push out water, but at the same time it's going to let in air pass through, and in turn it's gonna create micro bubbles. There's this other end right here, goes on the other end of the tube. And having a hard time placing this tube on. So the pump's pretty small itself. It only takes 8 watts. I can see sticking this into the sump area and pushing all of the detritus, because I have under gravel filters down there. It's so compact that you can just hang it down like so. But I'm gonna, for this video, I'm going to put this pump directly into the aquarium and see what happens. Alright guys, here's the Red Sea Reefer 350. It's just kind of midday, but I'm going through some diatom issues, but it's going away. Rocks are getting better, but then when I hit it with a turkey baster, there's a lot of detritus and stuff floating up. So that's the reason why I want to see if I can do something with the micro bubbles. So when I'm stirring everything up, I want to have the micro bubbles in the tank so it lifts everything and into the overflow up here, and I could collect it with my my floss down here with the sump. Now I'm gonna change out my pinky floss right there. You can see it's dirty and it's kind of starting to overflow. I change these out every couple of days. You can see how nasty and gunky it is. But here's the sump area. Started dosing calc a couple of days ago, and I'm starting to notice my refugium area doing a little better, because before everything would be kind of mushy and I had cyano in here and all that nasty stuff. I was thinking about removing all of the pond matrix and just having it bare bottom, so the detritus and gunk and stuff wouldn't just get trapped in this little 5-gallon container here. But we'll save that for another day. Gonna work on the micro bubbles right now. Let's get the unit in the tank. But before we do that, I wanted to show you how I created micro bubbles in the past. It's just with this wave maker right here, and all I do is just pull it up a little higher so that it pulls in some air. But when you're doing that, it creates a lot of splashing. I guess people usually do this while they're doing water changes. I don't, so I pull it up a little bit so it gets a little air in, but then it creates a lot of splashing up top, and you might get a lot of salt creep around all of these areas right here. So that's the reason why I got that new pump, so we can have the pump submerge and it's gonna pull in air. But as you can see, it's creating a lot of micro bubbles, and it's just gonna pull and lift all of that gunk up and into the overflow. Tried this a couple of times and it works pretty good, but what I don't like is that splashing all over the place, so I'm gonna put it back down. See all the micro bubbles in there. So let's get the new pump in and see how the bubbles are. Guys, I got the pump in. My thoughts are I'm gonna have the nozzle point straight and then have this wave maker push the bubbles down, and hopefully it'll get all over the place. But it's in. I just changed the floss right here, the pinky floss, so it's gonna be fresh and it's gonna catch all of the new gunk that's gonna come up. So I'm gonna plug it in. Let's see how the bubbles are. That's what I'm most curious about. And I also put floss into the pump itself. I took out the sponges and put in the floss just so I can just toss it when I'm done. And I'm curious to see how much gunk this unit's gonna pull. So here we go. I'm gonna plug it in right now, see what happens. Oh yeah, yes. It's putting out a lot of bubbles. Gonna keep it going, and I'm just gonna work on the tank itself. Just kind of scrub everything out and kind of use the turkey baster right here. Blow everything out of the rocks. etc. It's like detritus, and I'm hoping that the bubbles would just help lift it up and into the overflow. So I'm gonna get at it and let everything settle, and we'll see what the floss collects. You can see all this gunk coming out. I just want to clean all of the detritus out. So I moved the pump right in the center because me putting it on the back glass like that, it's causing that micro bubbles to go all over the lighting and just outside the tank. So I just moved it into the center, so all of the micro bubbles just disperse right in the center, and it's not gonna land on anything that's outside of the tank. And I scraped my glass and used a turkey baster to blow out all of the detritus out from all of the crevices in the rocks, and everything's just floating right now. I'm just hoping that the bubbles are helping kind of lift up everything. You can see all those little micro bubbles go all the way down and hopefully lifts up everything into the overflows. Alright guys, this is what I have so far. I scraped all of the glass, and in hindsight I should have scraped everything before putting in the pump to start up the bubbles, because I couldn't really see what I was doing. Hopefully I got most of the back glass, got most of the bottom glass as well, and I bastered everything, and I kind of left it for about 30 minutes, and I came back and I noticed my cups were overflowing again. You can see it's super nasty in there. Now I put a new floss before we started, so that's kind of crazy, but it's kind of expected because I scraped everything and I turkey basted, so I put it all in the water column, and the micro bubbles kind of lifting everything up into the overflow. And here's my skimmer. It's super dark. It's coming up. So I'm gonna turn this off and let everything settle, and we'll see how everything looks. And I'm very curious to see the floss inside the pump itself, what it picked up. Alright guys, I took off and went and picked up my kids, and we just got lunch and everything, and I came back and I could see a whole bunch of spots that I had missed. So I'm just gonna go back and do little touch-ups on the back glass. But I want to pull out the filter floss that I put in, just show you guys how nasty and dirty it is. It's already overflowing. When I see it overflow like that, it means I need to replace the floss. Pull it out. Check that out. It's almost the same color as the skim mate that the skimmer's pulling out. It's super dark green. This one right here. Yeah. I put in two. So the first one catches everything, and then the second one is just gonna not allow anything to pass through at all. But yeah, check it out. It's really nasty. And here's the skim mate again. It's pretty much the same color. Anyways, I think this is pretty good. I think the next thing I'm gonna try is to put it in to the sump itself, and maybe see if the pump would suck up the bubbles and just throw it into the display itself. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the pump. and just gonna do some spot checking and spot cleaning, and we're pretty much done here. The tank is pretty much really clear itself, clearer than before. But yeah, that's all I have for this week. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'll continue to update you guys on this tank, and I have big news on another tank that I picked up last week, which is right here. All right, peace out.